As many of you have seen by our posts on Facebook, we are taking our classes online to Patreon. And I want to talk a little bit today about video training. There can be different approaches to how one learns. And yes, right now, when especially younger dancers are doing school online, that can mean a lot of screen time. And that's something that for our classes I've taken deeply into consideration, and I have really minimized like our youth classes so that way they're only half-hour increments and they're able to practice multiple times and all of this fun stuff. With this change in dynamic, I cannot encourage my dancers enough to message me if you have a question, if you are taking our classes. Let me know, like in the video, what number you're at, like what week we're on, so I know which video you're even referencing. Let me know like the timestamp throughout the video, like you're so many minutes and seconds in, so I know what you're referencing, and detail whatever your question may be. One of my biggest concerns in going in online training is making sure that communication stays open. That has always been a huge concern for me, and even our live classes, is making sure that you're able to understand the material at hand. And everyone learns differently. So even with the video classes, there are going to be many questions that pop up, and I never want you to be afraid to ask me. All right. The program is pretty awesome. You can send me a message directly in it so that way I can respond. And it may not be necessarily immediate, but it's allowing us to be able to respond back and forth, and you can go back and practice. And the beauty of having some of these video classes is the fact that you can repeat it and make corrections. I keep the email posted, and so if it comes down to a question you have on like technique and stuff, again, if you're in our class, you can send me a quick video of, hey, how do I fix this? Or things along those lines. The way I've set up our kind of immediate future of classes is because I want us to walk through the steps of training with online videos and doing it properly. The reason I am not doing them live right now is because I want us to go through understanding the different angles that you're going to be seeing in a video setting and how that sometimes can play an illusion game on you, and making sure that you're getting all the material and working on how you understand the material from this type of training. I also encourage that dancers set a specific time. Treat it like you would a standard class. Make your own schedule and try to have that dedicated time where you know that you can like take a time out from the rest of the world and schedule it. The classes are pretty much all the same. So like if I say that it's an hour, make sure that you come to class ready. The video will take you pretty much an hour to get through, or a half hour, depending whichever one you're doing. And set a time so that way you can stay focused and all of that stuff. Get in the habit of still working the class from start to finish, and at the end taking down notes. I cannot stress that enough. If you still maintain a dance notebook, do it. It would be a great place to be able to write down your thoughts and any questions you may have for me, so that way we can keep training effectively. When I talk about taking notes, sometimes pictures help. So if you draw yourself a picture, that may very well help you with some of the different topics we talk about in class. And again, it's just everyone takes notes in different ways, and I want you to kind of explore new ways of taking notes as you go through this. If you're doing the video, like I said, you can write down like minute markers so you know where you're at and what the step is and all that stuff. So that way you can keep an idea of what class happened when, because otherwise I'm afraid that some of the videos may just all kind of blur together. So we want to kind of mentally keep track of what's going on in class. I also encourage that you dress the part. Treat it like you're going to a live dance class. So being in a leotard and tights and having your shoes ready. I mean, I am going to give another shout out to the tap room. Reminder, tap shoes can scuff and dig in. So you want to be also aware of what your dance surface is. But aside from that, dress the part. Have your hair in a bun. Be ready. Be just all together like you would for a standard class, because that comes back to discipline and you'll be far more focused in your training. I also really strongly encourage, and I kind of talked about this yesterday, making sure that you're following the directions. If something is said or a slight little tangent is given, it's probably for a reason. And so really make sure that you're listening. If you have a question, even after seeing it, again, write it down and ask. That's what I'm here for, is to make sure that you are still able to train effectively and that details aren't being lost along the way and that you're doing it safely, because there's no point in training if it's going to be done like haphazardly. Don't be afraid to try new things. There are sometimes, just like in live classes, where sometimes it's good to try something new, and you can go back and practice and slow things down and again ask questions, but just don't be afraid to try new things, especially going into this next year. I want to see like a clean slate and just so many possibilities that can happen in this next year, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. Try something new. If that's a new class, cool. If you've never done tap before, try it. If you're not sure about ballet, try it. And see where that can take you. All right. I hope that all of this is kind of making sense. And again, I just really wanted to just spend these last couple of days just being aware of what's going on at this point in the community of the performing arts realm, and just again thinking about the future. So I will see you tomorrow.